At a very young age, I feel like I wanted to do something that was outdoors. I definitely didn't want to be stuck in an office all day, so the trade was really the only thing for that. I knew I didn't want to go to a four-year college, and I remember seeing my grandfather in the big trucks, as I used to call them whenever I was little, and that was something that always stuck in my mind about, man, I wish I could do that. The things I enjoy most about the Academy is how we learn. It's not always in the book, in the classroom. It's being outside, doing it physically, not just mentally learning it, and that's it. We're outside in the heat, in the cold, in the weather, the atmosphere that we're gonna be in doing this type of work, so why not learn it in the atmosphere that we would be doing it in? TEKS has helped me in my career field by teaching me all the basics that I need to know, such as climbing, knot tying, and the tools. It also helps that all the instructors are linemen who have tons of experience in the field, so they teach us tricks and little things to help us out that we wouldn't know if we just went straight to the field. My hopes for after graduation is to go on to Centerpoint and be a lineman just like my grandfather.
My father was Billy Klopstick. He was a head lineman, and he retired from Centerpoint after 40 years.
I think the way that my father-in-law impacted me the most was his work ethic. He was a hard worker, dedicated to doing his job and being a good lineman, and the dedication and just the strive to always provide a service that was needed for people. When he went to trips for disaster relief, hurricanes and stuff like that, I think Blake thought that was really neat, is the fact that yes, he was gone, but he was going to help other people to get their power back on. He was a man that would go the extra mile for anybody. He, if we needed help, he was there to help. So I mean, it just is total drive to work hard and to provide for his family.
Blake probably showed interest most his senior year. He wanted to go be a lineman straight out of high school, and we kind of steered him in the direction of having scholarship money, go use it, go get you a certificate somewhere, because we knew a four-year university wasn't Blake's calling, and that's okay.
So many kids today think that they don't go to college or four-year university that they're not going to be successful.
Blake chose TEKS probably 2 minutes after we left.
They showed us the facility, they talked about the program, they talked about past kids, but they cared about every kid that's come through this program, and that's what I think really hit home for Blake.
He immediately said, this is where I want to go, this is what I want to do.
We try to keep our classes small. It gives us an opportunity to have more one-on-one time with a student. We have several different instructors here from all different backgrounds, so they get a whole gambit of different ideas, ways of doing things, of course, based solely and most importantly off of safety. But having that small group of young men and women gives an instructor more time to get to know them. You know, seeing a student carry on their family's legacy by becoming a lineman brings back a word that has followed all of us throughout our careers, and that's pride. It's a very proud trade. It's a very proud industry. And seeing a young man or a young lady that wants to carry that on for their family is incredible. Having the opportunity to get to be a part of that is just as incredible. The idea of him wearing his grandfather's hooks came about actually in this room. We had a meeting with the family, doing a tour back in June, I believe it was, and I got to meet his mother and father and Blake himself. And we discussed things, and I asked a question that I always ask, why would you like to be a lineman? And he told me that his grandfather was a lineman, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. One of the great things about being an instructor here at TEKS is when you meet families and having a response to something that a family member said about being a mentor and a friend to their son. I thought of this, that sometimes in life, there are a lot of somethings. You meet a few people in your life and something just happens, something clicks. Something tells you that there's something special about those people. Something put us all in that room together that day, and something incredible happened because of it.
I think for Blake, you know, the fact of climbing his last climb in his grandfather's hooks, it's a meeting of presence that he's here. You know, he's still part of him. And those hooks have been in probably thousands of poles. To see the wear on them, the leather was, you know, weathered and torn in spots, and it really meant a lot for Blake when Will said, "Hey, you got your pappy's spikes?" And he said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Well, you need to bring them up here. We're gonna climb. You're gonna climb in them when you graduate." You know, so you had the love of your grandfather on your feet. It's pretty cool. I mean, it really is, because that's 40 years of hard work on your feet, 40 years of dedication to a company, 40 years of dedication to people to serve and to provide a service that everybody needs in life. I think that's the biggest part, is the fact that with those hooks being on those boots today, Pappy is smiling down and happy that his grandson has chosen that path of life.